Hi everyone, this is Ubaid Khan. I'm teaching you science subjects. So let's welcome with our first chapter for biology, a fundamental unit of life. So basically, it means the cell in our body or any organism that is called the fundamental unit of the life. Because already we are listening the definition of the cell from a long time from our previous classes. Okay, what is meant by the cell? So we having the definition that cell is a basic fundamental and functional unit of life, because cell is the smallest quantity in any organism. Number of cell will come together and they will make the organism. We having so many means like definitions. Okay, number of cell will come together, they will make tissues, and then they will make muscles, organs, and number of organs will come together to make different kind of the systems are there. And our body, like we are the complex type of the organism, so number of systems will come together and will make the body. So that is why the cell is called the basic fundamental unit of our life. So in that we will just start with our first CV, uh, that is called discovery of the cell. Okay, so in the discovery of the cell we will just have a look that in who has discovered the cell very first. So in 1965 the Robert Hooke, an English scientist, so he was saw the cell in he was just taken a bark of a tree, and in that he have taken a small slice of cork, and that in that cork he was seen honeycomb structures are there. Okay, and in cell, in Latin language the cell is called the room or small room. He in the Latin language they are saying, that is he have given the name cell to that whatever he have looked in that time microscope that is made by himself. So the first of all in 1965 he was the Robert Hooke who was given the name cell, because in the Latin language they are say a small compartment or a small room, we can say, to that they are saying it's a cell or like a honeycomb, one small segment in that. Or his discovery indicated for the first time that living organism consists of the number of the small structures of unit, because before that, before his discovery, nobody believed that we are the human body, we are the living things. So living things having the small units in our body. So Robert Hooke was the first, in 1665 he told to the world, or he shown to the world, the living things, or we are also having the small segments in our body that is called the cell. And this is the two images, one is microscope is used by him to that time he was made to see the cell. And this is how in the second image how it is seen, the number of the cells of the bark of a tree, that is look at his microscope. Okay, so now the next slide, known the history of the cell, means who are the person, who are the scientists who have starting the work on that. So we have already discussed that in 1960, in 1665 the Robert Hooke he was the discovered the cell. So after that in 1674 a scientist named Van Leeuwenhoek, he was studies and he was find out the living cell for the first time. He was found the cell which is in a living condition in 1674. Now in the next, in 1831 Robert Brown is there and discovered and named nucleus in a cell. He was the one who found the nucleus. He was discovered something advanced. He say this is in the center of the cell, it is called the nucleus. Okay, now the further scientists, because always the scientists are working on several discoveries. So now in 1838 and 1839 MS John Sheldon and Sean, these both are formulated the cell theory. These both the scientists, they have written the cell theory, whatever the related to the cell they have written in the cell theory in these years. And now in 1855 the Rodolphe Virchow stated that cell, every cell is means having from a previous cell, every cell is we are see some cells are there, so they are having the previous history from cell only, it is multiplying, is having the pre-existing cell. So that is said by this scientist. Now in the next slide, what are the living organisms made up of? Okay, we are saying living organisms are there. So what is the basic unit or what is the building block of the living organism? Just we'll discuss now. It's just a building, we are looking in the building, we are using the bricks are there, we are utilizing in that, or basing of the cellular organization. Some organisms are made up of the single cell, like that is called the unicellular, like example of the Chlamydomonas, amoeba, paramecium. So basic things is there. Okay, what are the things we have started? Okay, in my body, what are the building blocks in my body? Like in our building, we are saying okay, bricks are there. So in our body, we are saying okay, the cell is a building or basic building blocks in our body, and now it depend on the number of the cell. Okay, some organisms they are having only one cell. The one cell is their body, you can say. Okay, with the help of one cell they can perform everything, each and every task of their body. So best example is amoeba, we have already studied. Okay, amoeba is an organism, it is a single cell organism, so it is called the unicellular organism, and the amoeba can do everything. It can take the food, it can be digest the food, it can be excrete out the material from its body in only one cell. With the one cell it can be do everything. So organisms which are made up of more than a cell called multicellular. Like us human beings, we are not a unicellular, we are having the millions and trillions of the cell in our body, and that is why we are called the specialized, or we are the multicellular organism. Multi means more than one. So we are having in our body more than one cell, and that is why we are having a different kind of the specialized cells are there, that we will study in the detail in our next slides. And irrespective of the unicellular or the multicellular organism, the cell perform the similar basic functions for their survival. So cell have to do several kind of the functions for their survival. Means now it's a living thing. So if some organisms are unicellular, so it needs a food. For that it needs to digest that, all the things he have to done to survive in the environment. Like us, we are also need the food, we want to breathe, we want to excrete, we want to reproduce. So these all are the things we want to do. So cell is also one of the living component. So cell also having or you have to perform several functions to survive, and otherwise it will be die. So now in the next slide we will see the gadgets to study the cells. Now what is mean by gadgets? What are the things are required to see anything? Like we are seeing some other zooming, we are using some cameras or some telescopes. So like the cell, to what the things can be used to see the cell. So cells are the too small to be seen by the naked eyes, and they are studied with the help of the microscope, because cell is very small size in that, so we cannot see by our naked eyes. Like we cannot see the microorganism, so we cannot see our cell also. So that is why we have to use the microscope. Or microscope, why we are to use the microscope? Because microscopes are the high resolution instrument that are used for the observing the detail of a very small object, because cell is very small. So if you want to see what are the components of the cell, what is the structure of the cells, how it is look like, so that is why we have to use the microscope. And in the microscope is also there is a two types. Number one is light microscope, that is magnification range from 106 to 1500, and the second one is electronic magnification, electronic microscope. One is light microscope and one is electron microscope. So these are the basic two type of the microscope. We are already have seen so many images of that microscope. It is having a lens over there, eyepiece over there, we can make it zooming power is also there. So with the help of the microscope we can better study about the cell, what are the components in the cell. Okay, now what are the different kind of the cell? Means we can think in our body only one kind of the cells are there, or different types of the cells are there. So the shapes and size of the cells are vary, but all of these are ultimately determined by the specific function. Means if we are taking the example of human beings, so we are having a different kind of the cells in our body. Like you can see here, the muscle tissue cells is there, the neuron is there, the blood cell is there. In plant you can see the guard cell is there. Paramecium is a unicellular organism, amoeba is a unicellular organism. So there are the different kind of the structure of the cells are there depending on the function, because we are the multicellular organisms. So we are having a different kind of the cells to perform a different kind of the function. It is specially depend on a function, okay, which kind of the function cell has to be performed. Because if you see, if you want to see that skin cell or tissue cells are there, so they are having a different kind of the function to protect our body. In our body they want to protect our body from different harmful situations, so they are having different kind of the shapes. If you can take the example of neuron, so neuron having different kind of the shape, because if it want to collect the signals or it want to send it to the brain, so that is why it is having the different kind of the structure, length, WBC, RBC. Basically we can say the blood cells are there. So WBC having the different function to collect the to take the oxygen from the alveoli and providing each and every part of the body. WBC is having a different function to kill the germs in our body. Platelet having the different function. So as per their function, the you can say the size and shape is also vary in our body. Like if you can take the example of fat cell, so fat adipose tissue we are having, in that fat cell is there to collect the extra fat in our body, and it can be stored in that. So as per the functioning of the cell, we are having the different kind or different type of the cell. Some cell can change their shape like amoeba, WBC, but plant and animal have almost fixed shape. Amoeba can change their body shape because it is a unicellular organism. Wherever it is found the food, the pseudopodia, that is called the false feet also, it will be enlarged, it will be move over the food, and it can be trap the food and take inside that. So that is, it can be changed. WBC also can change the shape, because it's the army in our body. Whatever the pathogens in the body it will found, it will go, it will make their body towards that. That is why they can be change the shape. But almost in our body the other cells are almost fixed in the shape, they cannot change the shape or body. Now you can take the example of the smallest cell, that is called the mycoplasma, is the smallest cell in your body. And largest cell you can say the ostrich egg. Ostrich egg you can say it's a single cell. You can take the example for the largest cell, so that is called the ostrich egg. Then largest animal cell in the animal body, the nerve cell, which is responsible in the nervous system to carry the, to bring the signal, to generate the signals in the form of impulse and send it to the brain. And then how we can be understand what will happen, and we are giving the instructions to our body from the brain. So that will come under the nerve cell, or nerve cell is the longest cell in the body of the animal. And micrometer, we can be find out the length in the micrometer. Micron is 1000 of a millimeter. That can be a size, you can be count in that. Now the next is okay, so next slide we will see that the cell is a basic unit of life, because always we are telling a cell is a basic and structural unit. So it performs the all life functions like the intake of the food material, excretion, metabolism, respiration. This all the functions will be done by each and every cell in our body. And division of the labor means cell usually possesses a number of the component called the cell organelles. Like in our body we are having different kind of the organs, so in the cell also different kind of the organelles are there. With the help of that organelles, the cell can be do the different kind of the functions, like each cell perform the different function. Number one, cleaning waste material. Whatever the waste material generate inside the cell, it can be clean the waste material, and it can be synthesize the protein, it can be synthesize the lipid, because whatever the wear and tear function in our body, the cell has to be maintain this kind of the things with the help of this protein and lipid synthesis. Okay, so these all kind of the cell activities the cell can be do. Now we will see in this next slide the unicellular versus the multicellular. Like we have seen some organisms are the unicellular and some multicellular. So in the unicellular, make of a single cell. Uni means one. The organism which is made by one cell, it is called the unicellular. Multicellular, the organism made by a more than one cell. The number of the cells are more than one, so it will come in the multicellular. Single cell able to perform all the life process like obtaining the food, respiration, excretion, growth and reproduction. So it is having only one cell, and with the one cell only the whole organism of one cell. So all the processes whatever you want to do for the alive, so all the process will be performed only one cell. Digestion, respiration, excretion will be performed by only one cell. But in the example of the multicellular, the cell have the similar basic structure and similar basic life activities. Means similar structure of the cell will be do the special kind of the functions, like our neuron will do the sending the message, RBC will only collect the oxygen from our body and provide to each and every part of the body, and WBC will only the fight. So we are having different functions decided for a different kind of the cell. In the next point, they cannot be divided to cell, and they are also called the acellular organism. Means they cannot be divide and it can be make the two cell. They are always in a unicellular position only. Okay, this is the different thing. Amoeba can be multiply into two different organisms, because if amoeba will be multiplied, it will be divided into different organisms. But in case of the multicellular, different shapes and arrangements to form the different tissues, means same kind of the cells will come together and they will make the tissues and they will make the organs. So whatever the same kind of the cells, they will come together and they will do the whatever the functions they can be do, and tissues form the organs and organs form the different kind of the organ systems. Okay, so different means if you can take the example of digestive system, so we are having the mouth, we have the esophagus, we have the stomach. So different kind of the cells will make different organs, and different organs will come together and do the different kind of the functions are there. We can take the example like plant, animal and fungi. These all will come in the multicellular organisms. So this is the basic difference from the unicellular and multicellular organisms we have to keep in our mind. So what is cell made up of? Cell is made of by which kind of the things? So a cell is a tiny mass of protoplasm which is surrounded by a membrane, and it is capable for performing all the functions. It is made by a tiny mass and it is having the cell membrane and can be perform a different kind of the functions by itself. A typical cell is performed of three parts. Now there are the so many cell organelles are there, but what are the major organelles, or what are the major things we can be say with the help of this we can be identify the cell. So number one is a plasma membrane to create separate environment. Like you can see what is a plasma membrane. This is the outer covering of the cell, which is the boundary, or we can say the outer covering of the cell. And now what is the function of the plasma membrane? Basically it is separating the cell organelles from the external environment. It can be providing the safety, you can say providing the safety to the internal cells organ, like we having the walls in our house, it is protecting to us from the external environment. So like that plasma membrane, or in some other organism, plant, they having the cell wall, so they can be providing protecting the internal organelles. Now the nucleus, for its control, the nucleus is a very important organelle of a cell. You can say this is the brain of the cell also, some people are saying, because it is whole the controlling of the cell will be done by the nucleus. We will study in the detail in the next slide. And the third one is cytoplasm, possessing the metabolic machinery. Cytoplasm, you can say the cell sap, the liquid material present inside the cell and nucleus, that is called the cytoplasm. All the cell organelles are present inside the cytoplasm only, and that is a very important. These three basic in the previous class also you have studied this three basic component of the cell. Okay, now the next is plasma membrane or cell membrane. Now one by one we will study in the detail about all these things. So number one, we will start with the plasma membrane. Already I told you this is the most delicate and classic membrane covering of the cell that is separates its content from the external environment. It is called the plasma membrane. That is delicate, that is a very soft, you can say the covering of the cell, which is providing the safety, which is protecting internal organs of the cell, and which is keeping separate all the organelles of the cell from the outside. And plasma membrane is selectively permeable, that is allowed entry of a certain substances restricting others. What is mean by selectively permeable? Because it is not allowing all the things to come in the cell, or all the things can be go out from the cell. Whatever the required thing only it will be allowed. That is why it is called the selectively permeable. It is selecting some things which is required for the cell, that is allowing to go inside, enter inside, and whatever the waste material it will allow to go outside. That it is called the selectively permeable. It is made up of the bilipids layers and proteins and integrated in out and inside. The small carbohydrate are attached with the placed outer surface of the lipid and protein. So basically it is made by the lipids and proteins. Okay, now function, the shape to content of the cell, mechanical barrier and semi permeable. With the help of the plasma membrane only, each and every cell will having the shape, because in our body you can see different shapes of the cells are there. So with this is depend basically on a plasma membrane, which is giving the shape. It is also giving the mechanical barrier, whatever the damages or whatever the means physical injuries can be happen, so it will be protect from that, and it will protect inside whatever the cell organelles are that can be protected. Endocytosis, it can be helped. Then flow of information, osmosis, whatever the things should be go inside the cell. As I told you, it is semi permeable, so it is allowing whatever the things go inside and go outside. And it is also modified to perform the special function like absorption in the microvilli. Okay, if the cell is we are talking about the microvilli. Villi is a means small intestine, inside that it is having the finger like projection. So if you are talking about the cell that is present in that area, so it is also having the more absorption power, it can be more absorb the glucose. So it is depend on the modification of the absorption, how much amount the absorption should be taken. So this all will be decided, and all will be done by the plasma membrane or cell membrane. Both are the same terms. You can also say the cell membrane also, because it is covering of the cell, so it is also called the cell membrane. Why we are telling it is a plasma membrane? Because inside the membrane there is a plasma, so that is why we can also say the plasma membrane. Both the words you can be used for that. This is the actual diagram or microscopic diagram for the plasma membrane. That is why they are allowing the several substances to go inside and several substances to come outside. That is a plasma membrane, you can be see here. Okay, now in the next slide we can be see that transport across the membrane. Now already I told you it is allowing several things to go outside, so this is come under the transportation or transport. So transport across the membrane. So membranes act as a physical barrier between the organelles of the cell and the cytoplasm and the surrounding of the environment. Whatever the organelles are present inside, it is making the barrier from that organelle or cytoplasm from the outermost environment. Now there are the different kinds we can be understand. Number one, impermeable. What is mean by impermeable? Substances do not pass through the membrane. The membrane which is not allowing anything to pass from this, it is called the impermeable. Nothing can be moved inside or outside from that membrane, it will come under the impermeable. Second term is permeable membrane, means both the solute and solvent can be passed through that. If you are having some solution in that solute as well as solvent, so this permeable membrane will allowing both the solute and solvent to go inside or go outside from the cell. That will come under the permeable membrane. Okay, now the semi permeable membrane, that will come under the membrane permeable to solvent but prevent the solute. The membrane is only allowing the solvent but not allowing to the solutes to pass from this, so that will come under the semi permeable membrane. And lastly we can be see the selectively permeable. Itself it can be explained, it can be only allowing the selected things. If the permeable allow the passage of the solvent and some selected solutes, it is allowing the solvent to pass inside or go outside, but the selected solutes only can be passed from this layer. That is why it is called the selectively permeable. This is all are come under the cell membrane. Different kind of the cell membranes are there, which is allowing, with the help of this diagram also you can understand, it is only allowing a specific means from this all the component, only a specific type of the component this membrane is allowing to go inside the cell. So that will come under the selectively permeable membrane. So basically these all are the type of the membrane. Okay. So now next we will see the next slide, that is called these are the types actually. These are the type of the passive transport, that is called the diffusion or osmosis. Okay. So this both will be help into the transportation process only. So number one we will see the diffusion process, the process of the movement of the substances, like it can be solid, liquid or gas, from the region of the higher concentration to the region of the lower concentration till spread uniformly in the given space, called the diffusion. So basically diffusion means it is the transformation or transfer of the material or substances. The substances can be liquid, can be gas or can be solid. So it can be transferred from a region of the concentration of the high concentration to the lower concentration. You can also see this figure, this is also showing the movement from the higher to lower. In this right side you can see the number of molecules are more, so it is traveling from higher to lower. So this is called the diffusion process. In the second diagram also it is showing, it is allowing from the higher concentration to lower concentration. So that is called the diffusion process, that will help in the several kind of the processes where we want to cell want to move some things from a higher concentration to lower concentration. Okay. Now the next slide we will see, that is called the osmosis. The both the things is little bit same because they are allowing something, but the osmosis is the defined for the diffusion of the water or the solvent. Okay. Before in that in this slide, in the diffusion process we are considering the solid, liquid and gas all can be moved from higher to lower, but in the osmosis we are especially talking about the water or solvent across the semi permeable membrane from a region of a higher concentration to the region of lower concentration. In that the liquid or water or any solvent it can be moved from a semi permeable membrane, but from the higher concentration to the lower concentration. The plasma membrane functions as a semi permeable. In our cell there is a plasma membrane, so that is act as a semi permeable membrane. In that it can be allowing a several kind of the liquids, that is from a also from a higher to lower. In this diagram also you can see, okay, that is also allowing from a higher concentration to lower concentration inside the cell. So that will come under the osmosis, and in the osmosis any liquid material or any water or liquid material can be moved from higher concentration to lower concentration, that will come under the osmosis. Okay. So this all these things can be helpful into the transportation process. Whatever the material we want, our cell want to take from outside, it can be follow the same things, either osmosis or either the diffusion. Okay. If you can take the example, in our body cell we want to take the oxygen in our body. So the oxygen is in the blood, it is in higher concentration. So oxygen can be come into the cell because in the cell we are having the lower concentration of the oxygen, so that will come under the diffusion process. And after the respiration we are having the carbon dioxide more in our cell as compared to outside the body of the cell. So as per this process the carbon dioxide will be go outside from the cell. So that is all helpful, and that all will follow the process of diffusion. Okay. So now we will stop here, and whatever the remaining points will be start in our next lecture. Okay. So up to that whatever the points we have discussed, just go through it and write down some important points in your notebook, and we will start our next lecture and whatever the remaining points we will cover in our next lecture. Okay. Take care.